Hello everyone, welcome back. Savage here, coming back with a new part of What If Deku Had Weird Soul Magic. Now before we get right into it guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's just begin. As after Midoriya and Nero managed to pass the first part of the Professional Heroes License exam, or as I like to call it, Phil, they kept waiting for the rest of the Class 1A that all of them managed to pass thankfully, and when the second part began, Midoriya and everyone else start trying to help the rest of the students by Midoriya's orders, being the class president and all, to help everybody and all the other students from different schools saving people. Midoriya and Nero thankfully having their mana sensing being a very great help, especially Midoriya with his tremendous amount of negative mana. In the end, Midoriya senses that Orca is coming, thinking that this is out of place and something like that. He immediately was the first person to jump him, and the rest of his goons obviously. Orca at first thinking that Midoriya is stupid for attacking him head on alone, but in the end he quickly has been silent because Midoriya managed to beat him and everybody that he is associated with, all of his little goons, by himself alone while the rest of the students protecting the civilians. In the end the exam was over with the villain being supposedly captured. Midoriya frees Orca acknowledge a bit of his strength. In the end, Midoriya and the rest of Class 1A managed to pass, including Nero, and except Bakugo, obviously. In the end, with Midoriya and everybody returning to their dorms, they start celebrating. Sugar Man cooked them some food to, well, enjoy a nice meal. Midoriya is sitting, just eating the food. Nero is also sitting while the girl's talking to her. And they talk to her quite sweetly. And she's a bit feels out of her place sitting between all of the rest of the girls in the class. But, well, Mina especially is happy to have another, female in their class because now there are 10, thankfully. Or are they 10? I don't exactly remember how many girls were there, so I'll just ignore that part. Regardless, while Midoriya is eating, he gets called by Bakugo saying, Meet me tonight at the fake city. Don't be late." As Baku just walks away while Midoriya look, huh? What was that? Well, Nero, when she was looking at him, she noticed that Baku talked to him. While Mina is trying to talk to Nero, saying, So, what do you think about Midoriya? As Nero said, What do I think about him? As Nero said, Mina said, Come on, speak up. You're always sitting on his head or, by his side or clinging to his arm so much. You ran with him somewhere in the exam. As Nero said, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm simply trying to help. And beside, his head makes for a nice nest. As, Mina said, there's surely more to it than just his head being a nice nest. As Nero said, well, he is my caretaker, or the person that I live with, as you call it. What do you call it in this world? I don't really know. What I know is I've been assigned to his protection and to his care. At the same time, he has been assigned to me. And that's all what I'm doing. Nothing more and nothing less. As Mina said, yeah, sure thing. You really think you can trick me with that? You're not fooling anybody here. As Nero said, why would I try to fool anyone here? In the end, while they are talking, everybody, ends the party and goes to sleep. And the night with Nero sleeping in her nest by the side of the window, Midoriya, wasn't asleep at all. He was just staring at his ceiling, waiting for Nero to sleep before, standing up, calling on his grimoire and walking through the door, leaving the place. Before the bird see Midoriya walking out of the door, just as she expected. While Midoriya is right now walking behind Baku saying, So, what is this for? You wanted to talk about something? As Midoriya and Baku are standing in the fake city, while Baku giving him his back, Izuku said, It's a bit late, don't you think? As Baku said, How did that happen? As Midoriya said, As Baku continued, How did you get into all of this? Demons, magic, demonic spells? A king from a past time? Long forgotten? How did you get involved in all of this damn stuff? As Midoriya said, I don't know. As Bakugo said, the time that you saved me from the sludge villain. It was the first time you had that power, right? As Midoriya said, yes, so? As Bakugo said, that figures. As he turns to Midoriya saying, I'm going to fight you here and now. As Midoriya said, what? Why would... What? As Bakugo said, don't do this. I'm going to fight you to see who's the best. I'm tired of pretending. And I'm simply tired of you being everybody's talk of the town. Besides, I'm not gonna have another cheap-ass win like in the sport festival. You just had to fall unconscious and lose, did you? Well, it's not anymore. Tonight, you're gonna have to fight me. And we're gonna fight to see who's the winner. Who's the best. As Midoriya said, well, can we just, like, talk to the teachers and perhaps, like, kind of, prepare us, like, a training area or something? As Bakugo said, if we do that, we won't be able to fight to our strongest. And I want to fight you on your strongest. So don't you dare hold back. As Bakugo starts stretching while Midoriya said, oh, hold on, please. This is getting out of control. Don't. As immediately Bakugo dashes to Midoriya with an explosion before Midoriya said, vacuum wall. As Bakugo hits an invisible barrier while Midoriya said, please, Katsuki, just stop this whole thing. As Bakugo said, damn it. As he goes on the attacking again. Before Midoriya just, still having his vacuum wall up, Midoriya saying, he's going all out. I've never seen him throw such destructive explosions before. Normally they're controlled, but this... As, then Midoriya is using his demonic form, start flying up in the air, saying, stop it! As he pushes him back, saying, can't you see this is just doesn't cut anything? As Bakugo said, shut up! As he goes to fly and attack Midoriya before Midoriya, block it again with another vacuum wall, saying, you can't just attack me like this, stop it, please! Katsuki! Let's just talk things out. It doesn't have to be this way. As Bakugo said, your fancy words won't save you this time. As he keeps on attacking. And while he's attacking, immediately Midoriya using vacuum wall to push Bakugo away. And then, while Bakugo is being pushed, he accidentally falls and trips on the ground before Midoriya floats down and said, hey, you okay? As he extended his right arm to Bakugo, but Bakugo slaps it away, saying, keep that disgusting thing away from me. What's happened to you? You're not the Deku I know. As Midoriya said, what? As Bakugo said, look at you. All dark and twisted, horns growing out of your head, black markings running down your face, and that accursed arm of yours. What the hell happened to you? And what the hell happened to me? It's because of me. You've gone through all of this. All my had to retire, and everything got ruined because I was so weak. If only I saved myself from that sludge villain, perhaps you never had to go through all of this. And I would never have to do any of this. As Midoriya's eyes widening, is he blaming himself for what happened to me? As Bakugo said, why did you have to be this thing? And why did I have to be the reason for it? As Midoriya eyes widening, saying, Katsuki, you... As he said, doesn't matter. Just doesn't. I don't know if you're even the same guy I know. How do I make sure? How do I ever make sure that you're not that thing in disguise just waiting for the moment? As Midoriya saying, he's blaming himself for all what happened to me. Since the first time with the sludge villain, he thinks he's the reason why I got possessed. And blames himself for All Might's retirement. He had all that guilt stored for all this time, alone? As Baku said, what am I supposed to do? Just, I need to know. As Midoriya immediately said, but then he hear a voice saying, you can stop fighting, that would be a first step. As Baku and Midoriya looks to the side to see Nero walking by the side of All Might. As immediately All Might said, thank you for telling me this, Sakurai. As immediately Midoriya said, All Might, Nero? As All Might said, yeah. Sakurai knew that you two would be doing stuff like this, so she called on me. As Bakugo looks into All Might and said, what are you doing here, All Might? As All Might said, is that really how you feel? All this time you've been blaming yourself. As immediately Bakugo just turned his head around saying, none of your business. As All Might said, of course it's my business. It wasn't your fault, young Bakugo. It was neither of your faults. Not your fault, Midoriya, that you got possessed by something so horrible. And it's not your fault that you caused him to be possessed. You were just two victims of circumstances. As Nero walks to Midoriya and immediately just slaps him on his face saying, I thought that you're bigger than that. As Midoriya said, I'm sorry. As she said, don't you go anywhere without me ever again, understood? As Midoriya said, I know. As Nero said, did you fight him back? As Midoriya said, I tried not to. As she said, just keep safe. And don't you ever not dare tell me something like this again. I'm your friend. And I'm also your helper. Think of me as your right-hand woman or something like that. As Midoriya said, I'll remember that. While All Might looks into Midoriya and Bug, saying, you two have grown so much. A lot have happened to the both of you. And I can't ask for forgiveness for what I've done. I feel like I am responsible for something between you two. Perhaps, if I never told you, you could never be a hero, young Midoriya. Perhaps you would never have that happen to you and got so corrupted. And perhaps you, young Bakugo, wouldn't be putting yourself in so much guilt. But at the same time, look at how much good you two did. You became such amazing heroes together, and took down such an unstoppable force. You managed to finish a fight that has been lasted for God knows how long. And you even managed to free Sakurai, Midoriya. As Midoriya said, yeah. As Bug said, you two are amazing. You should know that by now. Instead of focusing on each other, focus on becoming heroes together. As Midoriya looks into Bakugo and Bakugo looks into Midoriya, as Bakugo said, Oi, listen. As Midoriya looks into Bakugo and he said, don't you ever dare be corrupted again, understood? If I see you zoom out or some stupid devil shenanigans happen again, I'm gonna kill you myself. Don't you dare be weak and get possessed again. As Midoriya said, I'll make sure of that. As Nero said, I'll make sure that he doesn't, that never happens too. As she holds Midoriya's hand before All Might said, I'm so happy to have met such amazing students such as you two. Now please, let's go. As him, Midoriya, and Bakugo leaves the fake city. But of course, right after that, of course, Aizawa immediately just start hammering on Midoriya and Bakugo, telling them how much of an idiots they were and how fighting is not, well, prohibited and everything. In the end, he asked who did the first punch, and it was Bakugo. Midoriya didn't really fight a lot, so, well, Bakugo got expelled for 3 days, and he's waiting for apology from him. As for Midoriya, he was gonna be suspended for only 1 day. He really didn't fight, but he didn't, try to run away or something like that. In the end, Midoriya and Bakugo both go back into their dorms, while Midoriya is in his room, well, he just goes into sleep after, well, Nero forced him to sleep. And while he's asleep, she, as usual, makes her way on his head and sleep on him. And then next morning, everybody, well, that except Midoriya and Bak, goes and start taking their lecture. And the day after, Midoriya managed to go in and, well, start taking his own lecture with Nero, which she right now had been giving an official UA uniform, thanks to Aizawa. And Midoriya, when he looks into the uniform, he sees that she has his pendant putting on the tie, which Midoriya calls very cute. And she blushes a bit on that, comment from Midoriya. In the end, all Midoriya and Nero get meeting up with the rest of UA's big students, the big three. While they are introducing themselves, Aizawa telling them that they're gonna have some sort of work studies. In the end, Mirio offered to give all of the UA's, Class 1A, a little fighting chance against him. And right now they make their way into the training ground. Immediately, he's standing in front of all the class saying, "Alright, let's see what all the fuss is about with all of you." As, Kirishima said, "You're really gonna fight us all by yourself?" As he said, "Yep, only me." As, immediately, on the side, Tamaki and Nejire are watching this. The Tamaki is like, "What is Mirius doing? I thought I told him not to try and kill any students." As Nejire said, Hey, come on, Tamaki. You wouldn't do that." As he said, "I know, but he doesn't know when to hold back. And besides, I don't want to see that one kid in action. He's scary with his horn and stuff." As Nejire said, "Oh, you mean the, green head? The green head?" As he said, "Well, yeah, have you seen him in the sport festival? He burned one of his students." As, with, of course, Mirio, he's looking at the rest of the class, which right now, the Todoroki became, again, a part of the class, thankfully, because last night he managed to fully return to Class 1A. Though he is still training for his own Professional Heroes license exam, which will gonna happen with the same with Bakugo. In the end, Mirio starts attacking the students. Everybody start fighting him, except, Midoriya and Todoroki. Todoroki because he doesn't feel like he is fit to fight Mirio, since he didn't get his Professional Heroes license exam. And Midoriya because he's kinda looking at Mirio to see where he's going. In the end, he managed to take out the long-range fighters, all of them, Jiro and everybody. Of course, Nero was always behind Midoriya, so she didn't get attacked by him. As right now he's looking on the rest of the students that are close-range combat fighters, while all of them are wondering, saying, "How's this guy so quick?" As Midoriya said, "It's simple, he's phasing through the ground." As Mirio said, As Midoriya said, "I can see him. Whenever he phased through the ground, he disappeared under it, and then pops up somewhere else." As Nero said, "Yes, I see it too." As Midoriya said, "I can't follow him, and I can't see him, but I can sense his mana and where it's going and where it's coming from." As Mirio said, "So I guess he is able to see me, huh?" All Might was right. This kid is quite amazing. As he said, "Well, aren't you smart? One, let's see if you can back that up." As he immediately faces to the ground. Immediately when he tried to jump behind Midoriya, Midoriya first of all covers Nero's eyes by putting his hand on her face, and then he, used the command saying, "Disappear," as Mirio got blasted away into the wall before he phases through the wall and falls again through the ground before appearing in front of the students again. As he said, "Whoa, he actually managed to see that coming? Not only that, he pushed me. This kid is certainly a weird one. Well, I guess I can't hold back anymore then." As he immediately, crouches down before saying, "One for all." Full power. As immediately yellow lightning starts flicking between his body and just shining him through before he blasts in the speed of light, defeating Kirishima and the rest of the close-range fighters except Midoriya and Nero, which he immediately jumped on Midoriya, but Midoriya, using his magic, can use vacuum wall to stop Mirio, however, the vacuum wall did not stop him. He managed to phase right through his command as, well, he punched Midoriya in his stomach. And immediately, Mirio phases again through the floor and disappears somewhere else while Midoriya said, he managed to phase through my vacuum wall? That's a first time. As Mirio immediately goes for the attack again. However, this time, Midoriya waited for him by using one of the mouths in his arm. He used another command saying, back out, back away, as Mirio gets blasted away again, before using his, well, a quirk or fingers, immediately shot an air-pressured bullet towards Midoriya, which, well, hit him. However, Nero's seeing this, she's wondering how can she help, which she doesn't really know. She needs to use her sailing magic somewhere, or somewhat. So she immediately tried to heal Midoriya's pain by locking it away, which Midoriya thanked her for that, and Mirio stands in front of Midoriya, but keeping on the pressure to attack again. However, this time Midoriya was waiting for him, and he immediately said, fall, as suddenly Mirio's power just disappears, his body gives up, and he just falls straight on his face on the floor, and he's saying in his mind, what? My body isn't moving. What happened? As then Midoriya said, bind, as Mirio gets, well, binded up by chains, as, well, Midoriya said, hey, Tamaki, as he said, what is it? Did Mirio finish already? As she said, Mirio lost, as he said, what? As he immediately turned around and he sees Mirio all tied up and he's like, guess you captured me. Oh man, that was certainly weird. Why did my body suddenly drop? As Mirio let him go for him to finally be able to, well, put on his clothes again. In the end, he said, sorry if, that was a bit inappropriate for all of you. I tried as much as possible not, as he's immediately, everybody is wondering, saying, we got punched in the stomach so hard. As Mirio said, yeah, sorry about that. But you, as he pointed on Midoriya, you two are making a great team. As, well, Midoriya said, huh? Guess we do. As Mirio said, yeah. She heals you up and you immediately push down the villain. A great combo, I would say. But also, what was that? You managed to beat me. That is not, don't get me wrong, it's not that I'm mad or anything, it's just that I'm surprised. Normally people can't touch me. As Midoriya said, I didn't touch you, that's the thing. As he said, everybody is also wondering, yeah, what was that, Midoriya? Was that a new command? As Izuku said, oh yeah, it's a new one I managed to find, it just fall. It certainly takes, all power from somebody's body and just drops them to the floor. Like a doll, as Mirio said, so that's how you did it. That's amazing. So you can basically cause villains to just drop? You'll certainly be one amazing hero. As Midoriya thanks him and everything. As he started explaining about the Provisional Hero's license exam, telling how, even though that Midoriya beat him, he did manage to get the drop on him a couple of times, and if he was a real villain, a villain would have killed him by the time that Mirio was trying to attack. In the end, he explained about the Provisional, the work studies and everything, and in the end, everybody leaves back to their class after the big three left. And while Mirio and the rest of his, team going out back into their class, Midoriya said, hey Mirio, did that kid really manage to beat you? How did it feel? As Mirio said, I can't explain it. It just felt so dark. As Tamaki said, I'm still surprised he managed to beat you. I know that kid is terrifying. As Mirio said, yeah, he is. Just like All Might said. He's almost like he's from a different world. I can't wait to see what he can do in the future. And this is gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what you think about this part, and what do you think gonna happen in the next part. Well, I have nothing more to say than Severed was here.